The VA just quietly put out a press release, and buried inside the good news is one move that almost nobody is telling you about. A move that can stop the VA from ever calling you back in for another exam and lock your rating in for life. Here's the headline the VA put on it. The claims backlog just dropped below 70,000 for the first time since 2020, and claims are now being decided faster than at any point in history. That sounds like a nice statistic, and it is. But if you stop there, you miss the part that actually protects your check. Because the same system that is approving claims faster than ever is also the system that can knock on your door in a few years and try to take your rating back down. And there is one specific thing you can do right now on your own claim that shuts that door for good. Most veterans have never heard of it, and the ones who do it end up with a rating the VA cannot touch. So stay with me, because in a few minutes, I am going to show you exactly what it is and how to get it done. Let me tell you who I am real quick. I am Megan Taylor, pension and tax, am not a lawyer, and I am not a VA employee. I am a veteran who actually reads the press releases and the regulations, so you do not have to. And then I tell you in plain English what they really mean for your money. And this one matters because the VA is not going to spell out the protective move for you. They do not advertise the thing that keeps them from re-examining you later. That part is on you to know. And after today, you will. Do me one favor before we get into it. Hit that subscribe button, because I break down every one of these changes the day it drops. And I do not want you to miss the one that affects your check. Now, let us get into it. First, let me give you the actual news, because it is real and it is good, and it sets up everything else. The Department of Veterans Affairs announced that the backlog of veterans waiting on disability compensation and pension claims has fallen below 70,000 for the first time since February of 2020. To put that in perspective, the backlog is down about 74% since the start of 2025. A claim is officially called backlogged once it has been sitting for more than 125 days. Back in 2013, 70% of claims were older than that. Today, it is under 12%, and the average claim is now being decided in about 77 days, which the VA is calling the fastest in history. Over 1 million claims have been decided in under 30 days. Now, here is the honest part, because I am not going to just cheerlead. Faster does not automatically mean better for you. Some of you are already thinking it. If they are processing claims that fast, are they just rubber stamping denials to clear the pile? Fair question. So I looked at the numbers. The grant rate, meaning the percentage of claims the VA actually approves, has held steady between 60 and 65% for the last 4 years straight across 2 different administrations. So they are not denying more to move faster. They are genuinely moving faster. What that tells you is simple. If you have a claim to file or a condition you have been sitting on, now is the time to develop it and get it in, because the machine is actually moving. But filing is where most veterans stop thinking, and that is the mistake. Getting approved is only the first of 3 things you should be going after on every single claim. Let me walk you through all 3, because the third one is the one nobody talks about, and it is the one that protects you for the rest of your life. Goal number 1 is service connection. That is just proving your condition is tied to your service. That is the front door, and most veterans are focused entirely on it. Fine. Goal number 2 is getting the correct rating. This is where a lot of guys leave money on the table, because they get service connected at 10 or 30% when the rating schedule and their actual symptoms support something much higher. You want your doctor documenting your condition against the rating criteria so you land at the right percentage, not a lowball one. Those 2 most people at least know about. Here's the third goal, the one I rarely hear anyone mention. You want your condition classified as static. Static is a specific word the VA uses, and it means your condition has settled in and is not expected to get better. And getting that one label attached to your condition does 2 enormous things for you. The first thing static does is it stops future exams. You know the letter I'm talking about, the one that shows up years after you were rated, telling you the VA wants to re-examine your condition. Every veteran I know dreads that letter, and for good reason. A reexamination is the main way the VA reduces or takes away a rating you already earned. Think about how that feels. You fought for years to get service connected. You finally got your rating. You built your budget around that check. And then out of nowhere, the VA schedules an exam that could cut it. You did nothing wrong. Your condition did not improve, but now you have to go prove yourself all over again to a stranger with a clipboard. And if that exam does not go your way, your check drops. That is the trap. And it hangs over a huge number of rated veterans. Here is the rule most people never learn. Under the VA's own regulation on reexaminations, which is 38 CFR 3.327, the VA is not supposed to schedule a future exam when your disability is static, when it has not improved over a period of years, or when there is no reasonable chance it is going to get better. The same regulation says reexams generally should not be scheduled for veterans over the age of 55, or when a condition is at its minimum rating. In plain English, if your condition is properly documented as static in your file, that dreaded re-exam letter is not supposed to come at all. You take the single biggest threat to your rating, the thing that keeps veterans up at night, and you remove it. The rating becomes yours, and the VA is not circling back to second guess it. The second thing static does is even bigger. It is the key that unlocks permanent and total. Most veterans want to reach permanent and total, what people call P&T, because that is the version of a rating that is locked in and protected. But here is what almost nobody explains. To be permanent and total, your conditions have to be, you guessed it, static. Permanent means not expected to improve. So if your conditions are marked static and they add up to 100% under the VA's math, you are sitting right on the doorstep of P, and whether the VA has told you that or not. And once you are permanent and total, it is not just that the exams stop and the rating is protected. A whole list of extra benefits opens up that a regular 100% rating does not automatically hand you. Your spouse and your children can become eligible for health care through CHVA. Your dependent can qualify for education benefits under Chapter 35. Many states throw in a full property tax exemption for P&T veterans, which by itself can be worth thousands of dollars a year, depending on where you live. There is a dependent parents benefit, commissary and exchange access, and more. None of that turns on automatically at 100%. A lot of it turns on that word permanent. So the same static label that stops your re-exams is also the thing standing between you and a stack of benefits for your whole family. So think about what that one label really buys you. No more re-exam letters. No more living in fear that the rating you fought for gets pulled out from under you. A locked-in rating for the rest of your life, plus the door to permanent and total. That is the move the VA is not going to hand you. And it is why I made this video. Now, before I give you the exact steps to make this happen, I want to tell you about something I put together because it is built for exactly this. It is called the Veterans Benefits Playbook. Here's the problem it solves. The VA has hundreds of rules like this static rule, little regulations that protect you or pay you, and they are scattered across the code where no normal person is ever going to find them. The playbook pulls the ones that actually matter into one place in plain English. How to lock in your rating, how to reach permanent and total, every benefit you qualify for, and how they stack, and the exact language and forms to use. Veterans message me all the time telling me they found money and protections in there they had no idea existed. It is $19.99. The link is right at the top of the description. And if today's video is useful to you, that book is the whole system. Now, let me give you the steps. Step 1, make sure you are actually service connected and rated for every condition you are dealing with. You cannot protect a rating you do not have yet. So get everything on the books first. Step 2, look at each of your conditions and ask a simple question. Has this gotten better over the last several years, or has it stayed the same or gotten worse? If it has been steady or worse for years, that condition is a candidate to be marked static. Chronic conditions that do not heal are exactly what this is for. Step 3, and this is the one that does the work, get your doctor to put it in writing. You want your medical records to clearly state that the condition is chronic. that it has not improved over time, and that it is not expected to improve. That specific language is what supports a static classification. A vague note will not do it. It has to say the condition is stable and permanent in nature. Step 4. Submit that evidence to the VA and then check your rating decision, specifically what is called your code sheet. Each condition on it shows whether a future exam date is attached. If there is no future exam date next to a condition, that condition is being treated as static. If there is a date, that is your signal to send in the medical evidence showing it should not be. Step 5. If your static conditions add up to 100% and none of them are expected to improve, push for permanent and total in writing and make them corrected if they have not already. Do not wait for the VA to volunteer it because they usually will not. Let me leave you with the truth. The news the VA put out is good. Claims really are moving faster and getting approved at the same rate as before. So if you have something to file, file it. But do not stop at approved. Approved is temporary if you leave the door open to a future exam. Get your conditions marked static. Use that to lock in your rating and reach permanent and total. And you turn a rating that could be challenged into one that is yours for life. That is the part of the press release nobody read out loud. Now you have it. I am Megan Taylor. Go get what you earned and go protect it. I will see you in the next.